LMIA points removed, is that game over or just a reset?
Hey, Melissa, that's a question I'm getting a lot from my clients on my LinkedIn profile, on Google website, everywhere the same question, what will happen now? So yeah, this is a major policy shift in job offer points. But if you really wanted to understand what had happened and why this happened and what may be different consequences, we need to know the history, because the answer lies in the history. So the thing is, when expressentry was launched in 2015, and then LMIA job offer was including the expressentry program in 2015 itself. So initially, there were massive 600 points for LMIA-based job offer.
Absolutely.
Right. So 600 means guaranteed invitation, right? Guaranteed invitation means there's a guarantee that you will get an ITA and you will get a PR.
That's a game changer.
That was the game changer, yeah. In those days, and I was practicing as a consultant during those days, and LMIA were having a huge value, not for a work permit, but for PR. Yeah, so there were a lot of things going on, and gradually what the government did, they reduced the points from 600 to 50 points and 200 points. So what happened? They started giving 50 points for tier 0, 1, 2, 3, and 200 points for managerial occupations like, director.
That was really good.
That was good. So they balanced it out, right? Because so many things were happening, and LMIA started selling, not for the work permit, but for PR. So that's why they just, took the action very shortly, and they just, balanced out everything. So it was predicted that things will be okay, but things didn't work well.
And you have been in the industry for the last 10 years.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just seeing all these things since last 10 years. So many things happened in these last 10 years. So yesterday, they completely erased all points for LMIA or any non-LMIA-based job offer, 50 points and 200 points. So the thing is, 50 points was not only for LMIA.
Is that a good thing? Or who's going to have a mini heart attack?
Heart attack, the question is simple, but the answer is quite broad, right? It explains a bit more about that. Okay. This is very interesting, Lisa. The thing is, we need to know the history, what happened in those 10 years, and more especially post-COVID. So until mid-2022, things were very easy. Things were very easy means we as a consultants were able to predict the score. That in next IT, what will be the score?
Right.
And candidates were really confident, okay, they have to secure the CLB in English. They have to, of course, get 1 year or 2 years of experience, and then they will get an IT, and then here we go.
Was this change long overdue, AJ?
I would say yes, it was supposed to be. But in order to understand why the change was needed, let's understand what happened in last 5 years. I would say especially post-COVID, right? So post-COVID, the government opened the gates. Open the gates means millions of students came to Canada. A lot of people on an LMIA-based work permits came to Canada. A lot of visitors came to Canada.
Right.
Even Canadian government removed visa requirement from Mexico, and billions Mexicans came here on ETA. But think in that way, we are a country, Canada is a country where people come not for work.
No.
They come here for a better life. What happens? US people go for making a money. They make good money. And also not everyone can go to US. It's very hard.
That's a good perspective.
That's a good perspective. H-1B visa is not easy. It's very tough.
And who benefits from this change?
Coming to that point, right?
Yes.
So if you're going to US, you're going to make good money. Getting a green card is a very hard thing. But at the same time, when people think about Canada, they come here for a better life. Better life means PR. So what happened in those 5 years, millions and millions of people came here with just one objective, getting a PR. But the truth and reality is, government has limited number of seats for PR. Absolutely, right? There are no unlimited number of seats. So temporary foreign workers, temporary residents were increased a lot, but number of PR seats were still limited. less than $500,000. Number one. Number two, in those years, government gave more emphasis on non-economic permanent residency.
Right.
So this is an interesting thing. We need to understand what's economic and what's non-economic.
Agree. Yeah.
So economic means, if you talk about
Skilled workers.
Yeah.
Yes, the trade workers.
Yeah. So these are under economic programs. So economic programs are based on your human capital factors and how you contribute to the Canadian society and all these things. But non-economic programs were more promoted, like refugees, humanitarian grounds, and some special measures to give PR to certain people from certain countries.
Yeah.
But at the same time, number of quota means number of people who may get their PR through economic programs for the same. But now think it that way. It's about competition. In those 5 years, now a lot of people are in Canada, and all they were competing for one thing, PR.
Right. What does these applicants now that were based on, depending on the CRS 50 points or 200 points, now what do they have to do? Are they going to have to improve their skills in other ways now that this no longer is going to be a benefit for them? What do you have to say about that?
Okay, so let's do the postmortem, right? Postmortem means this has happened and what may be different consequences, because whenever something happens, it comes with two things. Something is positive for some people and something is not positive and sad for few people. So let's talk about positive thing, right? So the positive is for those people who are good on human capital factors.
Right.
So human capital factors are your age, education, English, and work experience, right? So say, for example, there's a candidate less than 30 years. They have foreign work experience. They have done postgrad diploma or master's in Canada with 1 year of experience. It's very easy for them to get a PR.
Right.
I have many clients, Felisa, who are above 500 points without any LMIA. Still, they're waiting because this 50 points LMIA has kind of given an advantage to those people, right? And they got more score and got an IT.
Is that fair for the applicants, for the rest of the applicants in the poll?
I would say not fair. The question is very straightforward, Melissa, but let me just explain you the good and bad thing, right? So what is happening for this LMIA? Basically, this LMIA was used for points purpose by those people who were not competitive. Competitive means we see a lot of students comes here, but most of the students who come here after grade 12 or high school, they do 2 years diploma program in Canada, and based on CRS calculation, if they do 2 years diploma program and get 7 bands and IELTS or CELPIP, they hardly reach to 400, 405 or 410, whereas cutoff was too high. So what they were doing, they were using this LMIA to boost their score.
Oh, I see.
Right? And another thing was there were people who were having around 470, 480, 490. They were having a word with their employer who can give them LMIA just for 50 points, not for work permit, just for 50 points. So they were having a benefit or advantage of 50 points to boost up their score. So they got their PR. So who has a great example, right? Yes. So the same people will be in the trouble. Means people who are here with grade 12, then 2 years diploma. Again, they will, without LMIA, they will be at 410, 415 early with 1 year of experience. Even if they work for 2 years and they don't have foreign experience, they will be 430. They will not touch even 450.
It also feels that RCRC are changing regulations on a daily basis. What else can we expect? A TikTok dance challenge? Tell us about it.
Now, in Canada, there's a very, very famous proverb. Don't feel offended. 3 things can be expected. These 3 things are totally unexpected. WWW, right? W for weather, W for work, and W for life. we should add another word, I. I means celebration. Immigration is totally unpredictable. You can't predict what will happen in the future. Even the lawyer consult, even I would say, for jokes part, what I used to say to my clients, if you ask the same question to our immigration minister or prime minister, they will not be able to answer what will happen because they don't know what they have to do.
Yes, that's a great Adrian.
So the thing is, what will happen, nobody knows. But one thing will remain sure. Immigration will remain tough for coming 4 or 5 years. Because what I have seen in my experience, in my career, immigration has always become tough in terms of getting permanent residency. I'm not talking about work permit, coming here as a visitor or as a temporary resident, but getting a PR in coming days would be harder.
Right. So that's the time that changes and it's becoming harder. Now it depends more on human factors.
Yeah, human capital factor would be the main thing.
Right.
Age. So now the thing is, this is very interesting thing. Yeah. So, I have many clients, other people who come here after 27, 28 or 30 years. They're mature point. They're mature people. They do their bachelor's back home. They get experience. They heard about Canada is a great country. They come here for a master's or PhD. They like the country, they come here. So this will be very hard for them because over 30, you don't get good points for age.
It gets more difficult.
It's more difficult in terms of getting points for age. But yeah, there are other points as well, like, experience. They're more mature people. Their English might be good. They have master's or PhD. They will be more advantages. So, getting PR for highly skilled people, very educated people would not be a very big thing.
Right.
Again, it will be a very tough thing for common people. For common people, like who come here for a diploma program or who come here based on LMIA based work permit.
Yes.
Kind of job offer.
And it is very encouraging at the same time because it demands for people to improve their skills, work on their skills, get better at their professions, or if it's language, right, or education. So I agree with you, AJ. How does removing the LMIA points level the playing field for candidates without job offer, AJ?
The answer is very simple. Now all candidates are on the same page. It means they are starting from zero and everyone will be competing for the same thing. But the question is, and the point is, who will win the race? So the people or candidates who will win the race will be those people who will have higher education, good language skills, more experience, and young.
Are LMIAs useless now?
Do you think so?
You tell us.
No, it has less value because we need to understand what the LMIA is, or LMIA is a kind of job offer. It's not just for 50 points. So for example, if there's a candidate, they have LMIA, they can still apply for a work permit. They can work in Canada, get more experience, and then improve their score. So it has lost its value, but still, it has a price tag. It's not priceless.
What impact will this have on CRS scores in the future express entry draws, AJ?
Impact? It will be, but it will take some time. It will be gradual decrease in the points. So we can't expect that, okay, it was 521 something in the last draw and it's going to be 480 in just one draw. It depends on the government, further number of ITAs and all. So just give me, the context of this. So what will happen if government continue to invite candidates under CEC? Of course, they will invite only CEC candidates this year. This is very clear. So if in one ITA they invite around 3,500 to 4,000 people, then by end of this year, minimum cutoff will go up to 475 to 480. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's the nature of the pool, right? Most of the candidates who are in the pool have 1 year of Canadian work experience. They have post-grad diploma.
Yes.
And if you talk about English score, or either through IELTS or self-pay, more or less are the same. So there will be drop in points up to 475 to 480 by end of this year. And it will go further down next year. And there will be a point when it will come up to 450.
Wow, that's going to be a game changer for all applicants.
Do you know why?
Why?
That's because of the nature of the people who are in the pool and who will be coming to Canada, because it's a dynamic pool, right? Everyday people create their profile who qualifies for the program, and not from just in Canada, but from overseas as well. But in the long run, what will happen? The opportunity will come for those people who are outside of Canada. So because of this 50 points of job offer and the government policies, because government was not inviting any candidates from federal skilled worker program since a long time. So there were people, they're good people, they were waiting. So they will have an opportunity. So they will get a chance to apply for PR who are not here in Canada, who are outside, but they're good people.
That's a great immigration advice, AJ.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of applicants were relying on this 50 and 200 points. What are their next steps?
Improve your language skill.
Right.
That's the thing that you can do. Number 2, wait for another year. And people who don't qualify for expressentry program as of now, a very simple advice is for them. If you're doing a diploma program for 2 years, convert that diploma into a bachelor's program so that you can get good points for education.
Yes.
Right? You can think about PNBs and other programs as well, but those are very competitive. So the best thing you can do, improve your language, get more experience. And one thing, the day you apply for your posted work permit, start working in a skilled occupation.
That's a great, solid strategy for all candidates.
You should start working.
Yes, I agree. Tell us your honest advice. Do you think IRCC will reverse this decision, or is it likely to be permanent?
I hope so, but this seems to be permanent because, as I said, PR will be tough. But I believe it's a permanent. Many people believe it's permanent, but it depends. As I said, in immigration, you can't predict anything, and whatever policy changes are right now, those will remain for forever. No one knows, because if you deep dive into the whole system, though most of the people are happy by removing these 50 points, but to be very honest, Melissa, what will happen? Very highly educated people, there are many multinational companies working here, and they bring people, their own people from other countries, not via LMIA, but from simple job offer to different, programs. They claim 50 points for that. And they're very highly skilled people, like they're software engineers, they're doctors, they're engineers.
Right.
What will happen? They come here not to make money. They come here to become permanent resident. And they were relying on this 50 points for LMIA.
There's a dual intention.
Dual intent, right? So they will think twice, right? Okay, why Canada? Why not America? I can make good money, because they were coming to Canada not for making good money. They were coming here for starting a new life, for getting a PR. So maybe with the course of the time, this is my personal perspective, this is my personal opinion, the government should rethink about this, that they should at least give 50 points for job offer either via LMIA or without LMIA to highly skilled people.
I agree with you.
It will benefit Canadian economy in the long run.
And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we're going to deep into more sensitive subject. How could removing LMIA points help address fraud and misuse in the system?
Fraud. Okay. Really, that's a very sensitive.
Yeah.
But to be very honest, we are in the industry where a lot of things are happening, and many things will happen, right? But being a consultant, personally, I believe that I should be truthful and I should talk about what's happening in the industry. So this, especially if you talk about LMIA fraud.
For example, give us an example.
Example, for example, this LMIA fraud term is prevalent in few communities. I would not say that all communities, all employers are misusing this program for exploiting temporary foreign workers or people.
We cannot generalize.
No.
Right. It's not everyone.
This is not true. If you see the Canadian workforce, let's talk about the brutal reality. If you see the agriculture sector relies basically on temporary foreign worker program through LMIA, right? If government stops LMIA, our agriculture sector will not thrive well.
Right.
Right? There will be very devastating effects on this. If we talk about construction sector, right?
Right. That's a positive perspective, right? Yes.
In construction sector, we need people, hardworking people. To be very honest, Melissa, Canada need laborers
Of course.
and highly educated people as well, but we don't need salespeople. And my Israel for that.
And we have economic needs.
Yeah. So what was happening that this LMIA fraud was happening in few sectors
Right.
and in few communities.
I heard about a lot of food supervisors, for example.
Yeah, you're right. Let's be more honest and clear and straightforward. If you see the food industry, if you go any Tim Hortons, any McDonald's, any food chain, the branded food chain,
Right.
you will see all immigrant people working over there. To be very honest, right?
I understand.
You will not feel a vibe being a Canadian that, yeah, I'm going to Tim Hortons, or you will feel a different vibe because the franchisee owner decided to just employ all foreign workers at the minimum wages using LMIA program. So they were using this program, temporary foreign worker program, LMIA program, just to cut their production cost or the cost cutting system,
Right.
by paying lower to the temporary foreign workers. And temporary foreign workers were not, raising their hand because they wanted to be PR for this 50 points, right? So there was a fraud, right? I can't deny it happened, and it's happening.
Absolutely.
It's still happening, but not all of it. I have worked with very good employers as well. We are proud to work with very nice employers, whether it's a branded food chain, it's a local company, it's a healthcare, whatever it is. We have worked with really good employers. So they employ temporary foreign worker, they help them for PR, LMIA, for work permit, not for any financial advantage. They do this for a mutual benefit that this person will work for me. And yeah, it's a win-win situation for both. So this fraud will be going down because, again, this LMIA has lost its value, 50 points value.
Yeah.
So there will be less buyers, and let me more raw. So there will be less buyers for this LMIA. So once there are no buyers, why people will have more LMIAs and why they will sell LMIAs. So again, this policy change will help in preventing fraud in LMIA.
Right. It has to use the fraud in the L.
You're right.
Exactly. I agree with you, AJ. And finally, a lot of candidates might be very anxious about these new changes. Tell us, what is your immigration advice to them?
The question is, who is anxious, right? Who is having a dilemma or who is worried about this? The people who use this program, right? But
Right.
I would personally say not all. The genuine candidates still have an opportunity. But now the thing is, because as a consultant, I work for all my clients, whether they're highly educated or they have grade 12 or they are trade people or they have less education. Doesn't matter. For me, all clients are the same, right? I can't be distinguished based on this LMI. The fact is, my advice to people. So number one, improve English work.
Right. My capital factors, I mentioned before. Yes.
Yes. And once you apply for your postgrad work permit, try to start working under a skill job from day one so that you may claim the points for that experience.
Right.
And wait for 2 years at least, right? 1 year will not give you more points, but 2 years of work experience will give you more points. The next point is, it's very debatable. That's the French. Many people ask me, my clients ask me, AJ, if I get, this French test done, can I get my PR? This is a very common question people ask you.
Yes.
YouTube is flooded with such videos that, okay, you can get a PR by doing a French. But this French is right now, and our political landscape is changing. We are heading towards election on 28th of April.
Yes.
Right? We don't know what will happen.
Uncertainty.
Yeah, there's uncertainty that French will remain under, they will continue inviting French candidates or they will not. So I would not advise on that whether you should work on French, but still, if you can get CLB5, you can have few points for French language. So of course, it's a benefit, but the real answer is, how long it would take to get CLB5. If you study for French at least for 5 hours in a day for a year, but then you will get this score. Ask from yourself. I asked the same question to the client. Ask from yourself, can you devote 4 or 5 hours in a day? If yes, then do that.
We have to keep it real as well, right?
But my last thing is, expressentry is not the only program for PR. This is not the only program for PR, right? Government has indicated that they will be launching another program for PR this year in 2025. They can't say when they will be launching, but they will launch for sure. The probability is around 99.9%, and that's for those people who don't qualify for PR, for expressentry. So that's for
Really good.
yeah, that's good.
Sounds promising.
That's promising, and the background is very complicated, but I will not too much discuss on that point. I would say clients know that there was a program, TR to PR program, that was launched in 2021, and there are chances that the government will be launching a permanent program for tier 4 and 5 workers this year. So don't worry, keep working, be optimistic, right? I know people come to Canada, not for study, not for work, but to get a PR. But in order to get a PR, you have to devote yourself for the core things, right? Don't cancel your all, keep working, and yeah,
That's a great.
I'm very positive, man. I always say, okay, don't lose your hope. Something will happen. Some program will come, right? Though LMI will not give you any point, but in order to live in Canada, so for example, if your work permit is expiring, I mean, how you will live in Canada, right? Again, LMI will not give you points, but LMI will give you work permit, and you can stay in Canada. You will remain in Canada, and one day something good will happen.
Thank you so much for your insights. It sounds everything like a great immigration advice.
Oh, nice to talk, Melissa. We will keep touching different aspects of immigration, the core things, the raw things. And yeah, see you in next.
See you in next.